When the time arrives that the imposition of the final phases of the lockdown of personal freedoms begins in earnest, there will be resistance, especially in the United States, since of all the humans on the planet, they have been the most deceived, the most pampered, and the most used. Difficult as it is for its citizens to believe, their natural development has been guided and controlled from the very beginning. The natural ingenuity and creativity have been encouraged and then turned to advantage or bought out and shelved. A particularly appropriate example is the continued development of sources of energy and transportation that would end the dependence on oil and coal, which would eliminate the health endangering of both the human body and the planetary flora and fauna. These are available to be developed quickly in the context of the new paradigm. There is a natural flow of expression that is part of the creative plan. It is what you might call unchangeable programming within the human pattern that remains regardless of what purposeful effort is made to override it. Once a goal or objective is decided upon by a personal choice that seems logical and accompanied by a commitment to that goal, it can and is pursued with all possible intensity, even to the point of giving up the life force to death. Methods of torture can and will cause the person to deny and pretend to give it up, but instead it usually instills it deeper into determination to resume the pursuit of its completion at the first opportunity. This is true for those goals that are both positive and negative in their energy configuration. Thus, confrontational situations are the logical result. The positive impetus is pursued through logic, and the negative experience through inability to apply the law of allowance, and control becomes an addictive factor in the imbalance. It's important to comprehend that perfection is the ability to remain in balance in the practice of all the laws of the universe that support the expansive expression of creation. This is a process that gives challenge to participation within what is called eternity. If not for this monumental challenge, eternity could be boring indeed. Intelligence is not confined to the human brain mind. It is part and parcel of the potentiality that flows through the process of creation. Self-contemplation by any manifested self-aware portion of creation, humanity for example, with a basic understanding of who and what they are in correlation to the expansive flow of creation, can transcend and remove limiting understandings. This then opens the awareness to the potential of new understandings, changing the experience of that being entirely. In every way, all experience serves the expansive process of each, because creation is, at its potential, intelligence in pursuit of understanding itself. It is necessary to discern that all beliefs reach a point of limiting the opportunity to evolve. It is then a perpetual process of transcending and leaving behind each and every understanding into greater wisdom. The exception to this is the immutable universal laws that support the process as a whole. At the basis of these changes is always greater understanding of these laws, their utilization, and the wisdom gained through the resulting experiences. Certainly, it would seem logical to the inhabitants of this planet that the time has come to transcend the present experience and change the beliefs that have focused creation into the experience of the future as it sits before them. It is far easier to perceive the situation at hand and change the beliefs to transcend the experience before it comes into complete manifestation. The negative polarity experience is brought always by failure to know, understand, and apply the laws of the universe. You were set upon this planet without them and denied the knowledge of them. Those indigenous groups who were on the planet were learning them through observation of nature. Through the blessings of eternity, all the time necessary, the evolvement was on its way. Now even those too have been corrupted. Unfortunately, through the teachings of the theme that nature is to be subdued rather than to be your teacher, you were denied the knowledge that could have been gained through its contemplation as a holographic example of the laws of application. The consequences of ignoring this new opportunity to change the story of this branch of humanity that has been literally railroaded onto a path thousands of years long, which has stemmed their involvement, are not pleasant to contemplate. The scenario began through breaking the law of allowance and interfering with the evolvement of other humans and requiring them to remain stuck in being rather than becoming. The consequences to those through the law of attraction, which you give is what you get, was left for it to work in its inevitable way. No other group was willing to interfere except in a benevolent advisory capacity, which is all that is allowed within the intelligent application of the universal laws. Intervention between species and planets does happen and is admitted here. However, the law of attraction absolutely works, but within the flow of divine order, the timing is left to the natural flow of that law within the intelligence of creation. To stretch the law of allowance and interact beyond the advisory capacity is carefully done with much consideration in regard to far-reaching possible effects. This may be extended, particularly when a group is evolved enough to ask for help specifically. The outcry to creation itself by enough of the population is answered by offers to help by specific groups. However, if the asking group is so closed off as to be unable to recognize the offers, then nothing can be done. In this case, the outcries for help have been of such duration, and the imbalance of the purposeful negative perpetrators is so great, the whole galaxy is now focused on this small planet, and orders have been issued to find a way to answer the outcries. Thus, Earth's population is being presented with the current process and the current messages within the presently available communication proliferation. It is our prayer that it will be enough and in time.